Okay, so I know I told you I wasn't going to make you create the entire React app from scratch, but I didn't make it a whole lot easier for you. I did put the basics in, so it's rendering an app component, and the app component is just rendering an empty div right now. And here we have the instructions for this exercise. So given a list of products as an array, which will be the products data that I'm importing from the file called vSchoolProducts, you need to create first and then render a product component for each product in the list. You're going to have a chance to practice creating your own functional component, passing props to it, and rendering the correct things to display inside of that component as it's receiving props. And you'll also need to practice using the map method on the products data. This array of data is just an array of silly objects that I created for a presentation that I gave last week here in Salt Lake City. And each object has an ID, a name, a price, and a description. You won't necessarily need to display the ID as text on the page, but try to think of what this ID might be helpful for. So I will go back to the app and I'll give you a chance to give this a shot. Good luck. Okay, let's start with just a really basic product component. So I'm going to create a new file and call it product.js, which I'll need to import React from React and export product. Create my functional component. I already know this is going to need to receive props, so I'll put props there. And let's just return some really basic JSX for now. We'll wrap everything in a div. I have, let's say, an H2 for the props.product.name. Now this is a nested object because I anticipate passing the entire product down as one object rather than passing down each individual property of the product individually as a prop. Instead, I'll just pass the whole product down as one object and access the properties through props.product. And then the name of the property. Down below it, I will put a paragraph. I'll put a $sign in front of props.product.price. And then one thing I'm actually going to put here is a string method called toLocalString, which allows me to display this as currency. And I believe if I do that, it will automatically put the $sign there for me. So I'm actually going to take my $sign out. And then after that gets evaluated, I might do like a dash and put the description. This is pretty boring, but I'd spend some time, if I were you, styling this and getting some more practice with styling too. So over in app.js, I know that I'm going to be rendering a number of product components, so I need to first import my product component from that file. And at the top of my functional component here, I'm going to create a new variable called products components. or product components. And that's going to be coming from productsdata.map. So productsdata.map, again, will create a new array. And we're going to make sure that array is filled with product components. So this will receive an individual product or item. Maybe I'll say item just to distinguish it from all the other things I have named product. I want this to return a product component where the product is my item. And now that I have this array of product components, I'm going to put it inside of my div here and try refreshing. Cool. One thing you notice is I got that warning about the key prop. Over here, I will also add a key property, and I'm going to pass in the item's ID just to allow it to have something unique so that React can correctly place everything the way that it wants to. And I need to fix my spelling here. Let's try refreshing again. Everything is showing up correctly on the right, and I no longer have that warning popping up, which is great. I'm a bit of a stickler for correct indentation, so I'm going to fix my indentation here. And this essentially is the completion of this exercise. Take some time to try and style this, see if you can display things a little bit differently. Play with adding products to the vSchool products array and see how that affects our website. One thing I didn't show is that I can scroll down here and see all of the other products that are listed in that array. Maybe try building a button that when it's clicked in each product pops up an alert with the information about that individual product. So spend some time with this, and once you're ready, we're going to talk about conditional rendering.